This sound of a very small running stream is a rare sound in Arizona these days. We've had almost 4 months with no rain, and then on Tuesday night we had a big storm, first one in a long time. So the land seems to be celebrating right now, and so am I and the rest of us. Well, I just wanted to say a couple of things. There's a video I made last year that's up on the site. I'm going to leave that one up there because I think it's got good information in it. However, the first maybe 5 minutes, in the first 5 minutes or so, there's some incorrect information because it's based on a course that was 14 weeks and this is 12, so the pacing has changed. But the rest of it is perfect. So I'm leaving that one up, and you should watch that one for an introduction to week 2 of Hinduism. I wanted to say about the course that I think I've used some terms that perhaps I shouldn't have at the beginning of the course. And, well, at least one of them, and that one was the word esoteric. This course does not focus on what we understand typically by the word esoteric knowledge, or Western esotericism. That is I would say, and some of you may disagree with me, and I know some of you have focused on that subject. Esotericism is something that is, I would say, could be regarded as a distillation of the world's religions. It's a perspective, a spiritual perspective, that's a distillation of the world's religions. It's attempted to extract what you might call knowledge or gnosis that lies at the core of the world's religions. And in that context, the word esoteric, in its original Greek meaning, refers to a kind of an inner circle. It's inward, but it's an inner circle. It's for the few, and in many cases, the implication it was for the initiated, those initiated into an inner circle, as opposed to exoteric, which is for the masses, for the many. So that isn't what the focus of this course is, and so according to common usage, I think I was not using that term correctly for you. What it is focused on is, hopefully, mysticism. So we're looking at the orthodox mainstream components of religions a little, but we're trying to dive into a kind of mystical heart of each religion, or to get a sense of what the mystics in that religion experienced and practiced. And that's the main point of this. Now, if there is a common core for all the world's religions, as perennialism claims, then that's for you to extract from this course, for you to experience, for you to determine whether that's experientially and intuitively true for you upon going through this course. That's not something I'm going to overtly state, because in my view, it's a conclusion. And it's a conclusion that really has to be based on experience. And having it as an intellectual conclusion is kind of silly. I mean, that's okay, but so my phone is about to run out of steam, so I'm going to finish this video in a little while. Okay, bye. Okay, back at the office now. The final thing I wanted to say was about the discussion posts and experience posts, that I suggest, I'm inviting all of you to take this course as, in its entirety, as a contemplative exercise. So, and to treat it as contemplative learning. What that means, to me at least, is that one is paying attention to one's experience, basically. Even while you're reading Houston Smith or the other textbooks, you're paying attention to your experience, to your what may arise during that reading, to your judgments, opinions, what you resonate with, what you appear to feel like you know, what appears to you to feel like you don't know, and so you're reading an external source, but you're also reading an internal source at the same time. And of course, that definitely goes for the practices that we'll do, the contemplative practices. You'll be paying attention to your inner reactions and inner state and reporting on that, and that's overtly contemplative. But the rest of it could be contemplative too. And then the entire course could be contemplative. And I think because we're dealing with the world's religions and particularly trying to have a mystical focus to some degree, that is totally a valid way to go. That we need to have an inward focus as well as an outer focus. We can't study these things purely intellectually. Intellect is fine. It's a good adjunct, but it's definitely intellect plus experience, or experience-informed intellect, or intellect-informed experience. So, so that's my suggestion. And so when you do write your discussion board posts, then please report on that aspect of your time, your inner experience. And that includes current experience within this course and the reading, but also you could refer to past experience and use experiences to make your point. So if you have an intellectual point, but an intellectual point can be experientially backed up. Here's my experiential evidence for this intellectual point, and here's the textbook and other sources evidence for that intellectual point. So that this contemplative component, this experiential component, becomes a part of the whole thing. It's not obviously we're not in a purely academic exercise which tends to limit itself to rational and intellectual opinions and arguments. So that's it. There's the other video on this coming week of the second week of Hinduism, which will have a couple of practices to choose from. We'll all do those practices and see what happens. And this will be, second week will be a more overall, a more delve into a more mystical / experiential part of Hinduism, and including readings of some of the original texts. So that should be interesting, and I'll enjoy following along with all of your experience and having my own experiences as well. Okay, bye.